So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the show today. We're here with one of our brothers, Justin Watson. Justin, he played with the St. Louis Rams in the NFL, and our brother's doing great things in the area of business. He's tapped into the continent, and that's a beautiful thing. So, Justin, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure to be here chatting with you.
All right, Justin, tell people just a little bit about yourself, how you grew up and your journey to the NFL.
So I was born in New York, but I grew up here in California where I am now. I'm actually the first generation born in the United States. My people, my family were Jamaicans. So I'm first generation here. So I really didn't grow up, knowing much about American football or even watching it in my home. My father would much rather get me to build a fence outside than watch it put on a game inside the house. So I really only had 1 year of high school football, and I made the most out of that opportunity and got a scholarship to San Diego State University. From San Diego State, began my journey of understanding football and moving that needle forward and understanding the game, and landed myself, an opportunity to play in the NFL. Started off with the San Diego Chargers, and in the following year, went over to World League and got picked up by the St. Louis Rams when I got back from the World League. So it's been an incredible journey football wise. And, that first year we won a Super Bowl championship. So that was, as good as it gets. And we happened to go to 2 Super Bowls, which was great. So I saw Tom Brady win his first one. That was when we lost, and we won 2 years prior to that. So just an incredible journey, a lot of fun, and very blessed to have gotten that ring, especially my first real season in the league. So
how many years did you play in the NFL?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. Don't you like the gym I go to? The brother that's there, Terrence Davis. He used to play in the league as well, and I think he played about 8 years in the league. And have they changed that with you guys' retirement? You have to play 8 seasons or more, or is a little less?
No, it's actually 4. So yeah,
Four.
once you play 4 years, it's really 3 years and 3 games to be technical. But once you get 3 years and 3 games, you got your pension and your retirement. So it starts there.
Okay, so you see a lot of guys that come out of the league, and some of them come out of there and they don't have nothing to show for it. Have you seen guys like that?
That happens all the time. I think that the money is so different now that it's a little harder to lose. I think back, even 20, 30 years ago, you saw a lot more, kids, you buy a nice car, or you think you get your mama a house, and then your friends start, hey, what about me? And, you pull up, you got your entourages, and guys were just leaving the league just flat broke, after a couple of years, not really thinking about the future and what they want to do, and realizing that you're only making this money for a short span of time. You better start thinking about what you want to do for the long term, because if you plan on living a long life, the money you're making, it won't last you if you're just blowing it, day in and day out, just having too much excitement and fun about a big check coming in. So, I saw my fair share of brothers, go in the league, make some money, and come out, and next thing you know, they're flat broke and they don't have anything to show for it. So, like I said, I think this day and age it's a little bit harder because the money is so different, but it's still possible. It still happens.
So, you definitely, applied yourself, and now you started, many businesses, and so those businesses that you got started, did you start them toward the end of your career in the NFL, or you started them right after?
So the first thing I started to do was invest my money in real estate from my first year. So when I came back home on an off season, I bought a piece of property, and I figured I would, set it up for renovation. I renovated the property, put it back on the market, kind of made, 100% of my money the first time. I hit a home run on my first real estate transaction, and I kept going in from there. So my goal was every season to come back and pick up a project and work on that in my off season, and watch it bear fruit later down the road. So I knew that was the way, like that, the money I was making in the league was just a foundational thing. And I needed to invest that and make that, bear fruit for me so I can continue to do the things I wanted to do and live a lifestyle I wanted to live.
Yes, sir. So now, the main thing is that you got into the coffee business.
Yes.
So what led you to go that direction?
Well, it was a couple of different things. One, last year was a we all know the year last year was, right? I mean, it was just a crazy year, full with a lot of emotional roller coasters and things like that. Everything from the pandemic to the George Floyd incident, to the Black Lives Matter movement. It was just one big kind of, cloud. And there was a lot of shifts in the world and the economy and everything. You saw, you have to really be diversified and be ready to make the midstream adjustments. But I was at a backyard barbecue with Kevin Garnett, and we were talking about getting in and possibly, linking up and doing some things together from a business perspective. And one thing that I mentioned to him, I said, whatever we do or whatever we think about doing, we got to be 10 toes in, and and watch that thing come to fruition. So the conversation kind of further along in the conversation, we started talking about, it shifted to what had happened in Minnesota with the two black kids that were in a Starbucks and getting kicked out of that establishment, and how wrong that was. So, he says, we should have our own coffee company, our own Starbucks. And, we just kept kind of going on and chatting and whatnot. And that night when I went to sleep, I couldn't rest. I was just uneasy, thinking about, what had happened with that incident. And at this point in time, it was, everything was heightened after that George Floyd incident. And, I was just thinking like how wrong it was that these kids got kicked out of the Starbucks, and how what a different model could look like if I were to open up, a brand of a coffee company where all are welcome and it's more of a community and a place that you can have meaningful conversations over cups of coffee. And I tossed and turned, and when I got up in the morning, I got on the phone. I called an attorney friend, an investor friend. I called, Kevin. So I assembled this team of guys to sit around in this boardroom and discuss the ideation of a coffee company. And that's really how, it got started. And I figured, I said, what, once I committed to, number one, I'm passionate about coffee. I love my coffee. So once I committed to going on that path with coffee, I said, hey, I'm 10 toes in. I'm going to watch this thing come to fruition, and make this the vessel that could help marginalized communities and do something by, pouring 25% of our profits into, into communities and educational justice and social justice initiatives and issues. So, it just became more and more of a passion and a buildup as I started to move along and venture out to grow this business.
All right. So once you guys created the company itself, now always the thought is, okay, where are we going to get the coffee from? And what brought that conversation about where the coffee is going to come from?
Well, it was pretty easy for us, because as we started to kind of research coffee and understand coffee. One, you got to show homage to the birthplace of coffee, which is Ethiopia. So, once I knew that was the birthplace, and Ethiopian coffee from Ethiopia is so good. It's great coffee. It was kind of was like a slam dunk. It was like, here it is. You get the best coffee in the world. You can support the farmers in Ethiopia. We're looking for, women-owned, black-owned farms in Ethiopia. Like that was our whole thing. It was like, how can we help the farmland? How can we make sure that, we're paying fair wages to the farmers? And if we're gonna source these great beans, let's make sure that the farmers are taken care of. It was like slam dunk. We can do good to the farmers, and we can do good here in the States where people are buying our coffee. So it was easy. The origin, the birthplace
Yes,
of
sir.
great coffee and great coffee.
And the good thing is you guys are connecting on the continent, because I always tell, brothers and sisters, hey, listen, the continent is where it's at to connect with them. Like I said, because if I had brought a brother on, he was talking about chocolate and just the ways we can get involved in that as, black people, because all these different countries that have chocolate, they get it all from the continent. They don't make their own like that. They may process it there, but they don't get the raw materials. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
And like I said, that coffee business is a good one. I was laughing with my wife today. I say, shoot, we can be like a homeboy from Coming to America talking about McDonald's. He talking about they got McDonald's, we got McDonald's. Say, shoot, if they got Starbucks, we can call it Planet Bucks, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have better coffee than them.
You ain't lying about that. So, and then, yeah, that's the thing. It's like you compare our coffee to Starbucks coffee, there's no comparison. It's like our coffee is so good coming from Ethiopia. I want to show the world how good this Ethiopia coffee can be. Everyone that's had this coffee they call me, and I obviously trying to grow the brand. You give it to influencers, this and the other, and sometimes they just influencers to take a coffee and it's they want to pump it up because they're supposed to. They DM me and they're like, "This coffee is amazing." I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like literally, when you have fresh coffee, and so what I'm doing with this Ethiopian bean is I'm making sure that the process is done right as well. Like it's a meticulous detail when you roast beans. You don't over roast good coffee. It's like if you had a nice piece of meat, you don't want to burn it to a crisp. You may want to char the outside and get it to your liking, whatever. But you don't overcook it and just burn out all the flavors. I want people to taste the soil from this Ethiopian, cherry that was picked and made into this bean. And so we roast to a meticulous detail where we do a medium roast, so you can actually taste the caramel tasting notes, the berries and that the floral flavors. So, and we want freshly roasted coffee. So we roast on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and ship out our coffee on Thursday. You want to drink that coffee, the really 3 to 7 days is like the prime spot to actually drink a good coffee. And when you do that, now you serve the food justice industry, where we can stop putting all these additives in our coffee, these sweeteners and the stuff that, no, I want you to drink this BLQK coffee that some people say, hey, we call it black. I want you to drink this black, because once you drink this black, you ain't going back. You're going to drink BLQK coffee literally by itself. It's just that good. So we want to show people what true fresh roasted coffee actually tastes like, and serve the community that way as well.
Yeah, and for me, we all about promoting, get everything through the community. You know what I'm saying? We make everybody else rich, and they don't appreciate us at all. If we circle our money in our community, we could actually get somewhere. So whether it's through brothers and sisters here, connecting with brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, the continent, and making sure that we all could take advantage of those resources that rightfully belong to Black people globally, right? And what you said earlier, you pay them, a good wage. I know they're happy about that, because jobs are definitely hard to come by on the continent.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's so important. The key you brought up, which is supporting one another. A lot of times, I think we say it, but we miss it. We don't actually put our words into action, because we're so we're not limited, but our it's almost like when I was building, I'll give you an example. When I was building out our website, and when you're looking for the best in the business, you're just kind of going online, you're getting referrals from people. And none of these, companies that we were getting were, Black web designers. Not that they don't exist, it's just the accessibility. You're trying to move the needle, and other people are pushing buttons like, okay, let's make calls. So finally, we didn't get a Black web designer, but we got a Latino web designer who does phenomenal work in business, and that gives a phenomenal product. And I know she was regarded as one of the best. But one of the questions we asked, we said, hey, do you have any Black employees? And she said, no, we don't. So we made a deal. We said, here's what we'll do. We'll let you design the website for us, and we'll pay your fee. But what we want in return is for you to hire somebody Black and put them on your team and help them. Let's let them be a part of our project as well. And she did that. So from the conception of our business, we actually moved the needle forward by getting a Black person, a person of color, into this great firm, and they became a part of their team. And now they're doing a phenomenal job with moving on and moving upward in this company. So like that was important for us. So even if we didn't tap into, help move the needle that way. So things like that are just so important, like you said, just for us to support each other and keep each other in mind. I mean, people are drinking coffee every single day. Why are you going to buy it from over here when you can buy it over here, right? And support the continent, a Black-owned business, and then know that every cup of coffee that you're drinking, you're helping push the needle for some kid that may need to, that can't afford, that doesn't have the means to meet their dreams. So we're trying to make sure that we create that right there, that culture.
And that's, see that model, that, you guys have done, connecting with the continent, they providing a resource, helping them, helping you with your business. And also in the same time, you're helping a young brother or sister, move up in this society. That's the right way to do it. I mean, that's what I always preach about, how we should do it and help each other out constantly. We can't depend on nobody else to help us. You know that. We can't go to no coffee shop. That's what inspires you. And see, the thing is, when we, instead of begging people to please let me come to your business, instead of saying, you know what, okay, you don't want us there, fine. We create our own. And that's the beautiful solution to the majority of our problems. We do not have to beg nobody to let us drink no coffee, to go to no store or go anywhere. We should have our own resources. And just like you said, keep it within the community. So I commend you and the rest of your team for, pushing that. Because that's something you guys didn't have to do whatsoever.
No, right, exactly. But it's important. If you want to do it right, you got to do it right from conception. You got a lot of these companies now, going backwards. Oh, we see that we weren't, structured the right way, and we didn't look at it this way. And so now they're going back and trying to rewrite the wrongs and, to try to keep the consumer, because more people these days, more consumers are more aware about where to spend their dollars and how, their dollars impact their communities. So you got a lot of backpedaling going on. A lot of people are trying to weasel their way out of, something that they never cared about. And we're just moving with our hearts. We're moving out of love.
Yes, sir. And you guys are definitely doing the right way, and I definitely commend you. So, tell us how people can get that coffee, because now you done talked about it. So let people know how they can get it and get in contact with y'all.
Yeah, so you can, our coffee, I would love everyone to follow us on Instagram, and our IG handle is, at BLQK Coffee. Because we do a lot of giveaways on our coffee, and we have a lot of information, and we're spreading love there, and subscribing on blqk.coffee, and order your coffee there. That's our avenue, that's our vessel to love and to move the needle. So log on, check out our beautiful site. You'll see we're doing everything right from start to finish. You know, it's a beautiful site, and you know, we want to just give back to our communities.
Okay, so it's blqcoffee.com.
BLQK, and when you think about BLQK, it's building legacies for our queens and kings. So it's BLQK dot coffee. Yeah, not .com. It's just a .coffee. I know everyone says it's .com. No, .coffee. We got coffee as our domain.
Okay, man.
So,
Yeah, that's yeah. Hey, I ain't heard of that one. So y'all
yeah,
hit a curve.
yeah. So we shock everybody. We say BLQK.coffee. They think .coffee.com. No, it's BLQK.coffee. And that's it. And then our, like I said, our Instagram handle is at BLQK Coffee, and we're building legacies for our queens and kings.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Well, like I said, you know, we definitely appreciate you joining us on the show today. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll put that contact information down there in the pinned comment. Please, those of you who love coffee, and a lot of us do, you know, we need our coffee. Make sure to buy it from, you know, our brother here, and you support not only brother and sisters here in America, but you're also supporting your brothers and sisters in Ethiopia as well. So Justin, you know, thank you for joining us today, and you stay blessed.
You stay blessed as well. I appreciate you, brother.